Hyannis drops a 4-3 decision to Harwich here at White House Field in 10 innings. Max Schwartzberg alongside Giovanni Culotta. Before we break down the game, you caught up with manager Mitch Karraker.
Giovanni Culotta with skipper Mitch Karraker after the game. Coach, this one had the feel of a playoff game for you in terms of its significance. Why did that factor into some of those late game decisions from you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trying to figure out, what formula is just going to get us a win, whether it's a playoff game or a regular season game. We made a lot of switches tonight with guys, and I thought the bullpen did a really nice job. And, unfortunately, a really well-played game on both sides. It just didn't go our way.
You made a couple of pinch hit decisions in that bottom of the ninth. Jake Schaffner specifically worked a really long at-bat. What did he show the guys after him?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it kind of worked out how we planned. Charlie works a really good walk to start the inning. Owen, I think, is a really good bunter. Just bunted it maybe a little bit too hard back to the pitcher. The guy made a nice play. Jake gives us a great at-bat. We get two really good walks out of that after that. And, we have Jeff Lugie, who's an all-star up there. We feel really good about that situation specifically. Just it's a hard game. Hitting's hard, and Jeff just had a tough night tonight.
Couple of runs come off of leadoff walks for your team. What does that say about your guys at the plate?
Yeah, they're doing a good job. I think they're staying with the process. They pitch really, really well. They pitched us tough tonight. Our guys were able to scrap across enough runs. That run in the seventh was huge. Huge sac fly there. And so I think we're doing good. We're on the right track. Just be nice to keep extending the lead a little bit and find a way to come out on the right side of all these close games we seem to struggle with.
A repeat situation tomorrow night, a win and a Falmouth loss gets you into the playoffs. How do you regroup going into Orleans tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's taking it one pitch at a time. Our guys are frustrated. They were super competitive tonight. They want to win. We don't need to worry about Falmouth or Orleans. Orleans playing really good baseball right now. We just need to worry about us. Play as clean a game as we possibly can and see what happens.
Hyannis drops here to Harwich, but back in action with another East Division opponent on the road tomorrow. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys.
Great pitching, great hitting in this one, Gio. And when it came down to the wire, this felt like what is going to be a postseason game.
It sure was, and Mitch Karraker made a couple of late decisions with the pinch hitters in that bottom of the ninth, subbing Owen Prince and Jake Schaffner in, and they delivered at-bats like they have all season long. For Schaffner, he did strike out, but he lengthened it to 8 pitchers, and that followed up the next 2 plate appearances for Ryan McKay and Parker Brocious with walks that loaded the bases for an all-star in Jeff Lugie. He strikes out, and Max, it's not always going to go that way for Hyannis if it gets itself into enough of these situations, but you're right. This had the feel of a playoff game. Certainly with the cold, it is freezing out here. A lot of vigilant fans stayed for this one. That maybe the atmosphere wasn't what it will be in a few days when the playoffs begin here on Cape Cod, but in terms of significance, this was among the more important games of the season for Hyannis.
Harwich, of course, headlined by their elite pitching staff. Hyannis, the best starting pitching ERA in the Cape, the team in second. These Harwich Mariners, and 2 very good starts from both starters.
Absolutely, and to mention that Hyannis bullpen, though, it delivered when it needed to, just maybe not in all the moments that it could have presented. Connor Kelly, in particular, comes into the game for the 9th and the 10th and nearly gets out of it before Matt Conti tags him for the walk-off RBI single. But what did he show in this game? That this bullpen is capable of shutting down in situations, but 2 very good starts, particularly from Max Stammel. Wasn't what he did last time when he stretched 5 innings and didn't allow a run, but he got through 4 innings, just 1 run allowed, weathered the storm for the guys that came after him, and stopped a very potent Harwich attack.
And definitely a cleaner game played by Hyannis. It looks like as the calendars turn to August, even towards the late part of July, they've just been playing a cleaner brand of baseball, which is what they're going to need should they hang on and make the postseason.
And in the deepest depths of July for Hyannis, it was bad. We saw a lot of free passes go on the board. We saw them really struggle with bullpen ERA, as they do a bit now. But Max, as you said, it just feels like they're playing better baseball all around. It feels like they're finally meshing. And I think a big part of that is the fact that the roster turnover for Hyannis, while it came in bunches, came earlier in the season than it's coming for a lot of these teams. Talked a lot on the broadcast tonight about how the NECBL season is over, so a lot of those players will come from those teams here to Cape Cod to help these teams through their playoff pushes. That hasn't really happened yet for Hyannis, or if it did, it has already happened. 20 new players since July 7th alone, and so those guys have had the time to gel. They're already meshing very well at the right time. That's what a lot of the rest of the league is doing at this moment before the playoffs, and that the fact that Hyannis already has that under its belt is a very key sign.
Hyannis is back on the road tomorrow in Orleans. Going to finish it out strong before getting back to McKeon Park against Wareham. But they're going to finish strong on the road tomorrow. First pitch at 6:30 p.m. at Eldridge Park. For Giovanni Culotta, I'm Max Schwartzberg.